How about this angle? It's still the soybean farm, but that's my neighbor's house right there. So you hear the birds. It's Sunday morning. Here's why I want to make this video. As we know, the majority of the videos I make are selfie cam. Sun is obstructing the view. It's more like this. You're seeing almost this is my hairline, you know. But I want your opinion. Don't you think though that when you're seeing me in a stable setting, that my hair definitely looks better? It's funny because what I'm trying to figure out is there this illusion that I create almost for the worst on more of a daily basis, because again, most of my videos are with the selfie cam on my phone, whereas this is a nicer camera that I'm using to film this today, and you're not having this perspective with all the sunlight, you know. But what I think what happens is, in the real world, when I'm walking around, I mean, if you were in my office and you saw me walking, as far as the guy with hair, you're not looking at a guy who's, you know, Norwood 3 and, as some might say, fast forwarding to Norwood 5. I just feel that a lot of this has to do with the lighting and the cameras that I use and the environment. I mean, because the next video you see me do, I'm gonna have the selfie cam. I'll be back at work tomorrow, and you know, you're gonna be seeing my hair in the worst light. But help me, and I'm asking this as a question today, a little miniature theory here. But is it possible that when people tend to say, you know, and it's funny because yesterday I made the 2 different videos back to back. And I was hoping that someone would pick up on the fact that I've got this one video saying that I look good despite my hair loss. And then the very next video is I look bad because of the hair loss that I have already. And so I made these back to back. They were meant as a duo, but I didn't want to just be obvious part 1 and part 2. But in those 2 videos, you've got 2 different perspectives of my hair. And so what I wanted to do is just kind of show a little bit behind the scenes on that and say, honestly, a lot of it has to do with how close you're looking at me, whether there's wind and sun going on and all of this stuff. But usually when you talk to people, you're not talking to them like this. Because even the thumbnails on the other videos where I'm walking, I mean, it's just more obtrusive. Okay? But imagine in a real world setting, if you knew me in Tennessee as a real person. This is more about as close as you'd get to me. Or if you're like, hey, good morning, and shaking my hand, like I'm standing close enough to the, actually, now I'm standing close enough to shake your hand if I was in real life. So this is what people actually see when they see me. Not a guy who's overanalyzing hair loss, but just a normal guy that's talking about stuff. What I wanted to do is just kind of show you what it must be like to know me in the real world outside of this YouTube channel. This is what people see. They're not seeing a guy with hair loss. I've made it very easy for you to see me as a guy with hair loss. But the rest of the world doesn't see me that way. The rest of the world sees me as a normal guy. Remember, a married guy with 2 kids and a job, and then this laughable side gig of he actually makes money by talking about hair loss. See, that's the version of people, that's the version of me that people actually know. So I thought, you know what? It'd be good just to have stable lighting, me maybe not overanalyzing the specifics of hair loss, and just talk to you like a normal guy, where I'm not preaching to you about hair loss and how it doesn't matter or any of that. I just want you to see me as a normal guy. And of course, I know that if I specifically talk about things that are not about hair loss, people won't watch my channel. I've tried that. I long for a version of the world in which I could talk about things that aren't about hair loss. But the free market determined that unless I'm talking about hair, I don't hold the value to you. I've learned that, and I accept that. I assume this role of this guy who's only going to talk about hair loss. Just imagine though, if I were able to talk to you about things that actually matter to me. Yeah, I just said that out loud. If only I could talk to you about things that actually matter to me. I keep saying how my hair loss doesn't matter to me, how I don't care. And I don't. I really don't. I've said it before, I'm like a genie in a bottle pleading, saying, let me out of here, let me out of here. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, that check cashed, thanks, right? I mean, just imagine. See, and that's why I'm talking about things that aren't so much about hair loss, just to show you, hey, I'm a regular guy. I'm not a balding guy. I'm not a guy who's losing my hair to the rest of the world. They don't see me that way. You see me in a way that no one else sees me. No one else brings up hair loss or sees me that way. Just even now, I'm engaging you in a conversation that distracts you a little bit from us talking about the specifics of hair loss. So in the real world, this is a glimpse of Nick's shell. Yeah, I'm still got the same basic personality, but you're seeing me from different angles, just a little bit, in better lighting, and distracting the conversation away from hair loss just for a little bit. I'm a normal, average guy. I'm not the hair loss guy outside of this camera.